It's LUMJTV.
It's LUMJTV.
It's LUMJTV.
You know, and I mean, the protest does the same. When I think about it, I want to hope that things will get better, but I feel like things are going to get worse.
But what makes you say that?
The Bible.
Well, yes. Yes. I mean, that's definitely factual. Yeah.
So, I mean...
the Bible.
No, like, seriously.
Literally.
Because every time somebody asks me that, that always comes into mind. Because, you know, we've been saying for years that God's coming back soon and, you know,
it's gonna get worse.
Things gotta get worse, you know what I'm saying? So, I just don't know how. I don't know how. And that also plays into Black people coming together. I think that is possible. I think that is very possible.
But you think that you believe that education is something that needs to be key in making it possible?
I think...
Cause okay, just a sidebar here. I came to a couple of Maya's meetings with Rise Above, and it was purely education. It wasn't like, we're Black people and we're strong. Like, it was literally, okay, let's pull out books, everyone get their phones, and let's do research.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that it was. But there are a ton of people out there who aren't doing that.
Right.
So do you think that that's one of the key things that will play a role in it actually getting better?
What I think and what I really believe is that we have to stop trying to pinpoint how to get better. We have to use every avenue that we have that we can in order to attack this, because they're not just attacking us educationally. They're not just attacking us economically, financially, whatever. Everybody, if you have an expertise in whatever you do, I think you need to share that expertise, that knowledge with everyone, because we all need to know. We all need to attack this situation, this oppression from different avenues.
Ways,
because it's not merely education, because you can be highly educated and still not get anywhere. I just think people, and I think that is what I've noticed is a problem, because everybody wants to be right, and everybody wants to say, well, because this is what I think, this is what we should do. And it's okay I don't want to say it's okay to think that way, but don't try to tear somebody else down because they're not thinking what you're thinking, because they don't think that your solution is the only solution. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we backtrack, because we can't agree.
Right, and that literally goes back to the first reason why all this is
exactly
started. Right.
So we're sitting here debating about who's right and who's wrong when we have bigger problems out there. Y'all could literally be going in your own lane, attacking the same situation, and probably get a better solution. That's kind of why I really like my major that I'm in now, which is interdisciplinary social sciences, because the whole thing about that is basically taking these different disciplines and putting them into one solution. So you're looking at it this way, you're looking at it this way, like, for instance, economics versus psychology. Like, this could help, lowering the population versus, just things like that. And I think we need to take that whole picture and use those different disciplines in order to attack the problem, because you're not going to get anywhere by doing one thing. We've been trying that. That's what we've been doing, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work. But I do feel like it's possible. We just got to
get on it.
Get people out of their own butt. Yeah. And share, and that's another thing. We have to get to the point, it also goes back to not putting anyone down, but we have to get to the point where you're firm in standing up for what you believe in and sharing your perspective. Because if you don't share your perspective, how are people gonna know what it is?
That's so funny you say that, because I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and before like the last year or two, I wasn't really like a pro-black person. Like I've always been like, I'm black. This is just who I am. I don't need to like make an announcement because you see me, I'm a black woman. Like, hello. So, and I've also always went to like white schools and stuff like that. So
Palm Harbor.
Yeah, Palm Harbor, literally all my life. So being this like pro-black person, I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
So we were talking about what Chris Rock did on the Oscars. And she was just saying that he basically pointed back to the fact that there haven't been many African Americans to get Oscars, and he made this whole big hoopla. It was all over the news, and like it was just all this stuff going on. And I'm like, I personally, at the time, my thoughts then was, why did he do that? Why did he have to make that? Why did he do that? So with you saying that it's important to share your thoughts, to share your, your beliefs, and share your morals, like this is what I believe, that's a prime example of how it gets out.
Right.
Because if, at the time I thought he was just being belligerent, but whatever, your mind changes. Yeah. So, the thing is, you have to get to a point where you're free to talk about, okay, this is what I believe in.
Right, exactly.
Even if it could be to the left. This is what I believe. Right. And that's how it's easier for us to all come together and to be one. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So why do you think there are African Americans who are, I guess, not interested in this whole movement? It's not even a movement. I think it's just a mindset.
Yeah. I think
and just being woke and being really aware. It's just a point of awareness. Yeah. Why do you think there are so many people that are just clueless?
I think
I know that's kind of a 2-3-fold.
Yeah, it's like so many different answers that I can give you, but the one that first popped to my head is that they're afraid, they're scared, and they're comfortable in where they are now. Because if you I'm trying to think, don't quote me on this, but I want to say it was Marx, the philosopher, that was basically saying the more conscious you become of your surroundings, the more oppressed you become, because you realize the disconnect that you have from the world. Crazy, right? So, and that's really like what's going on, because if you step out of your comfort zone and you realize that there's all these things going on, and that this is affecting this and this is affecting that, it could be a little depressing. And to actually
really
see that I could be shot simply by the color of my skin is scary. And why, if you're living in this world where that doesn't matter or that doesn't affect me, it's hard to come out of that. Right. Because it's so comfortable, you don't have to face those fears, you don't have to face those things. So I think that a lot of people are comfortable and a lot of people are just scared, and
it's just easier to walk around.
It's easy. It is easier, right?
Think that the cop that stops you is gonna kill you.
Right.
That's true.
It's hell of a lot easier. Am I allowed to say?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do you think about white privilege?